Hello everyone, this is Bob Lowe, Executive Director of CSIA, and I want to thank you for joining us today for this webinar, Getting the Most from the CSIA Executive Conference, and I'm really excited that you are going to be coming for the first time, and I just am certain that you're going to enjoy it and get a lot from it, both from many of the educational sessions that will take place as well as the networking and relationship building opportunity that it presents. So with that said, let's get started. Again, this is Bob Lowe, and I am the Executive Director of CSIA. The first thing that I'm going to do is just, for some of you may be new to CSIA, and I think it's good to just have a first few slides on what CSIA is all about. You may already know, but for some of you it may be a good refresher. For those who have actually been a member for a while, but for those who are relatively new members, perhaps you'll learn something that you had not known when you first came with us. So what is our history? We began in around 1990. It was a very small group of system integrators who were part of a statistics gathering exercise by a gentleman by the name of Charlie Bergman, and there were about 12 or 15 companies at that time. And then as a result of that is when the organization began formally, and in 1993 was the first conference and membership meeting. Then the next most significant milestone as CSIA began to evolve was to develop the best practices and benchmarks manual. And that's a guide on how to run a really good system integration company, and hopefully all of you have downloaded it from the library at this point. Then in 2000 we began the certification program, which actually fully launched in 2001, and that is to become CSIA certified requires passing an audit of criteria that are extracted from the best practices and benchmarks manual. So the certification program was a natural continuation or extension of the manual itself. And then in 2003 we began an insurance program, simply because the insurance industry did not understand what industrial system integrators do. Then in 2009 is when a new leadership structure was put in place. That's when I came on board, and also when AMPT, which is Linda Patterson's company, she is our president, her and her staff worked together with me, and so we are the current leadership, and it enabled substantial growth and improvement in programs. And then in 2012 we started putting a more significant effort into global growth. So where are we today after that humble beginnings in the early 1990s? We're at over 400 system integrators. Nearly 100 of them are certified. So you can see the total is 405, and partner members are automation suppliers, or at least most of them are. There are a few that are of a different purpose, but probably 95% of them are automation suppliers, those who integrators buy their hardware and software from, and I suspect that maybe some of our listeners today are partner members as well, and we certainly welcome you and the system integrators both to CSIA and to this first time coming to the conference. So what is the vision of CSIA? Well, we want industries everywhere to have access to low-risk, safe, and successful applications of automation technology. And you'll notice there that it doesn't mention system integrators, it doesn't mention suppliers. This is actually much broader and provides the insight that we are also concerned about the constituents of system integrators and automation suppliers. So this reveals the fact that we want to be the center of the universe of system integration, that suppliers know about us and utilize the exchange and other services, but also of course take in the system integrators and suppliers. What is our mission? Well, it kind of breaks down into four primary categories, but the mission is to advance the industry of system integration, and we want to do that by helping system integrators be better business people, to professionalize the industry. We want to be that core, that nucleus, that center of the universe for integrators and partners to network, train, discuss common issues, and share best practices. And then, of course, brand awareness, influence in the marketplace. And what that primarily means is that we are striving for CSIA certification to be broadly accepted, preferred in the marketplace by end user clients. And that, of course, feeds the last one, which is all about certification being an industry standard. So what do I or we consider to be the top 7 values for system integrator members? The annual executive conference, which obviously we're going to be talking about in length today. That's the purpose of today's webinar. The manual, the certification program, the connected community, which of course is both a library as well as an open forum for discussion amongst our members when you're not at the conference, and where you can ask business questions and get answers from your peers from around the world. So, connected community truly serves two purposes: library and a discussion board. The Industrial Automation Exchange, all of you are, I'm sure, aware of that by now. You've heard from us. It's been launched for about a year now, and it's a place for for end users to come and look for integrators, suppliers, and answers. And then educational webinars, which occur monthly, and then also business insurance. These are probably what I would consider to be the most of the greatest value to integrator members, and of course partner members can benefit in some of these as well. So we're going to talk about the conference in great detail today. The best practices manual, that's the key to success for a system integrator. By downloading, using, implementing all 9 sections of the best practices manual. CSIE certification, the connected community, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, the Industrial Automation Exchange, I'm sure all of you know what that looks like by now. And as the number 6 and number 7 on my list were the educational webinars. And also we have new ones on business topics. Those are put on by our partner members. And then business insurance. And that is insurance that's available globally, and it's business insurance, meaning professional liability as well as general liability, cyber liability, and many other smaller optional types. So system integrators everywhere have the same problems. CSIA truly is a global organization, and we have members in 26 countries now. We have certified members on 6 of the 7 continents. And I've been to India, I've been to Singapore, I've been to Brazil, Mexico, Europe several times, and what I find is that system integrators everywhere have the same problems, and you can see those listed on the screen. So where do you search for solutions? Well, come to the conference each year, which obviously you are doing that, and you're to be congratulated for making the decision to attend. And you can search for solutions to many of these problems, or maybe I should replace the word problems with just challenges. And so let's talk about how can you get the most from the conference so that you can perhaps find ways to meet the everyday challenges. The key thing is preparation. What I encourage you to do, I'm sure by now you're aware that there is an app. You go to any conference these days and there's an app, and it provides, let's say it replaces what we might have given to you in the past on paper, but it exhibits the entire program. You can see who all is attending the conference, which means you can invite other people to meet with you, and you can learn about the presenters. I mean, it's everything you want to know about the conference, so be sure before you arrive at the conference to download the app and see who's there. And next item is really review the program. Make a plan. I'm sure you've looked at it already and realized that there are a lot of concurrent sessions, so you'll have to make, at times, decisions on which session do you want to attend. So it's imperative that you really truly come into the program or into the conference with a plan on what it is that you want to do. Realize that there are 2 tracks. Now, sometimes the line is blurred between them. There's an executive track and there's an operations track. And the executive track is primarily aimed at the owners and really top-level managers. And the operations track might lean a little more towards someone who is maybe more into marketing or HR or project management or whatever. But anyway, but again, sometimes these sessions, you could argue, should they be in the executive track or operations? And frankly, I suggest don't pay too much attention to what title they have as far as the track, but rather pay more attention to whether it really, really appeals to you and that you feel that you'd be able to get something from it and use it when you return back to the office next week. There is a third track, and it is called a common sense approach to automation upgrades and system integration. This is the very first time that we have done this. This is actually it's a workshop, and it replaces attending the educational sessions, those 23 sessions that I mentioned, and your time would be spent, or perhaps one of your coworkers or someone in your company, if it's not you, would actually, it's truly a workshop, and instead of attending any of the sessions, all of their time at the conference, or your time at the conference, would be spent in this class, in this workshop with Dan Ressler. And it's primarily aimed at like project managers, but engineers that run projects too would really benefit from it. So, but the way it works is the breaks, the lunches, the social events, the people in this workshop can share in those because the timing is going to be totally in sync. It's just that instead of attending the educational sessions as if at the conference, you would be in this workshop instead. So there's the same exact amount of networking and relationship building opportunity for those who are in the workshop as those who are attending the conference sessions. So we're really hoping this will be successful. I'm told there's still room to sign up and register. There are 15 people signed up now. We have room for a little more than that, so it's a very nice, intimate group of people, and it would be a great opportunity to take advantage of this program called A Common Sense Approach to Automation Upgrades and System Migrations. Lastly, I'll just encourage you to arrange meetings. If there are people, whether it's someone in the media, a partner member like from Rockwell, Siemens, Schneider, many of our smaller ones, make those meeting plans in advance. It's a great opportunity. And I'll be talking in a minute. I'll mention our attorney, Mark Voigtman, and our insurance manager, Paul Barnard. If you want to meet with these people, it's best to make those meeting arrangements in advance. First thing I'll mention, I'm going to kind of go through the whole program now. It starts on Wednesday evening, April 29th, with the opening reception from 7 to 9. This is truly a social event. And in the past, we've sometimes had some exhibits going on at the same time, but this year it's just 2 hours of opportunity to meet people, say hello, catch up with old friends, anybody, whatever you'd like to do with yourself, and there's plenty of food and drink available. We thank all of our sponsors for enabling an event like, this particular opening reception to occur. And so again, this is just a nice, soft, easy, social way to get underway before we hit the ground running on Thursday morning and start filling your head with really good business information. So anyway, that's the opening reception. Thursday morning, we open with Alan Bolio, and Alan he's a stalwart with CSIA, meaning that our members expect him back every year. He's an economist, but he's just puts his message across in a very entertaining way. So you for 90 minutes, you'll just really, really enjoy having him tell you where the world is going economically, and with a focus on automation in the system integration industry. And of course, that's preceded by breakfast, which is from 7 to 8. Then we do Alan from 8 to 9:30. Then we're going to do something really unique. If this is your first time at the conference, you've never met Nick Setchell. This will be Nick's third or fourth time at our conference, and he's an exceptional financial management person for financially managing companies. He's based in Australia. He loves coming to our conference. He's very entertaining as well. And Alan, like I say, is an economist, and he's from a system integrator perspective, or even a supplier perspective. Think of him as the external view, and Nick Setchell is the internal view. So he's about internal financial management, and he's done many presentations on those topics. For us, in some of the past years, he's done multiple presentations. So he's backed by popular demand along with Alan, and what we're going to do for a half an hour from 9:30 to 10 o'clock is put them together on stage and that's all going to be Q&A. So feel free to bring your economy questions, your financial questions, and so forth, and just enjoy that 30 minutes with these two really over-the-top experts regarding money. Next will be Craig Resnick of ARC Research, and he's going to be on stage with two end users, and they're going to be talking about what you should know about end users and what their expectations are of you. And that the presentation that Craig's going to be doing is based on research that we just did in conjunction with ARC, who is a research company focused on in the world of automation. And he's going to be summarizing what has been learned through that research, and also apply some quantitative data from the research work that ARC does on a day-to-day basis. And then you'll hear the personal expectations, you might say, of end users. So anyway, I'm sure you'll be really excited about seeing that. One of those end users is from Lafarge, the world's largest cement company. He will be with us all the way from France. And the other gentleman is actually recently retired after many decades in, I believe, the food industry. So anyway, that's going to be an excellent presentation. And that will end what we call the general sessions. That'll be until Saturday morning, meaning that everyone in attendance is at those sessions. Again, that's for Alan, and then the Alan and Nick show, and then Craig on stage with 2 end users. So that wraps up the morning on Thursday. Then we go into lunch, and you will receive a box lunch. This year we'll do something really very different. Typically embedded into the Thursday morning program was what we call a town hall meeting, which is actually an annual business meeting, and we're required by federal law to have an annual business meeting. So it's not so dry. We don't call it that. We call it a town hall meeting, but it actually doubles as an annual business meeting. So listen carefully about the past, the present, the future, and we'll be doing this while you're eating your box lunch. We're just trying to really maximize the effectiveness of your time at the conference. So instead of setting aside an hour specifically for this town hall meeting, we're going to do it concurrent with you enjoying your lunch. And then towards the end of that particular time, we're going to leave the room momentarily, and the folks at the facility are going to break the large room into 2, and that's when the concurrent sessions will begin, and they will continue all the way through Friday. So be sure to, again, study the program, make a plan, know where you want to go. Not that you can't change on, midstream, but it's good to come in with a plan. And our website and the app all have the information available to you that would enable you to make a good decision about how you'd like to spend your time. So what is the sequence of events once we get into Thursday afternoon? Again, it is go to the program. Go to the website, look at your app, and you can see what all your choices are. The next thing that occurs is on Thursday evening from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock is the Partner Member Expo. This is a tabletop exhibit with approximately 65 of our partner members exhibiting, and it's a great opportunity to get out and meet them. And they're not going to be bringing a lot of hardware, a lot of software, but some more less than others. But please, we highly encourage all of our integrators, I truly mean all of our integrators, to take advantage of this opportunity, because this is one key opportunity for partner members to have exposure to you and for you to learn from them. And it's a great opportunity to build relationships. And we tell them, we do another webinar actually for our partners, and we encourage them to not go into the bits, the bytes and the bandwidths of everything that they offer, but more than anything, just convey their message about what they provide, what they do, how they relate to integrators, do they have a system integrator program, and so on and so forth. So we can't urge you strongly enough to take full advantage, whether you're a partner or an integrator, in this 3-hour opportunity to come face-to-face. And then Friday sessions begin right after the 7 to 8 o'clock breakfast on Friday morning, and all the way through the day on Friday, they are concurrent sessions. Then in the evening, we will have an awards reception and a banquet. That's really an awesome time, and I'm really hoping you're going to stay for that. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. You learn, well, you get to meet yet more people, and find out who the award recipients are. We have 4 different key awards that we give every year, plus some other recognitions as well, many recognitions. Well, first of all, as far as recognitions, identify those who have certified recently or recertified within the last year. So again, I think you'll very much enjoy the awards reception and banquet. And then Saturday morning sessions, we're back to being general sessions again, and the first one is by Dan Roessler, and it's called Developing Effective Proposal Processes and Winning Jobs. And Dan came out of the system integration industry, now has his own business, so he really understands the life of a system integrator and travels around a lot, speaking on many topics, and this is just one of them. So I know that you'll enjoy this presentation by Dan. I'm going to take a little break, and then we're going to have a closing presentation by Dr. Peter Martin, who currently works for Schneider Electric. I invited him because I heard him speak at an ISA Automation Week event about 2 years ago, which I think we all know ISA Automation Weeks don't exist anymore, but I was impressed with Dr. Martin and asked him to come back and convey his really wonderful message to our members. So that wraps up by noontime. Actually, about 11:15ish, we're going to wrap up a little bit early. That ends the actual conference itself, the sessions. And by that time, I think you will have had your head pretty stuffed full of ideas and about how you can go back to your office and make improvements to your company. Saturday afternoon is all about fun. You can do things on your own. CSIA is offering social events, so it's completely up to you, but it's just an afternoon of fun. Some people stay at this point. Some people decide to go home. I would imagine you have your plans made by now, but if you can stay or you are planning to stay, just enjoy the afternoon in the Washington, D.C. area. And then Saturday evening, we have a closing reception, again, for those who have decided to stay a little longer, and that goes from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So that pretty much wraps up the event at that point in time. So I'm just going to go through some general things now that we've done the specifics. I highly recommend come into the conference with 3 questions that you want to ask every partner member that you meet. You think from your suppliers, what is it you'd really like to learn? This is your own personal survey, and you can just take away so much if you ask those key questions. Maybe you only have 2, maybe you have 1. But anyway, just come focused, come ready to ask some key things so that when you go back, you've done your own little survey and it'll help you make business decisions. I've said before, and I'll repeat it here, spend the full 3 hours at the Partner Industry Expo and reception and truly talk to the partners, get to know them. You're going to probably come across we have a lot of new partner members, some companies I'm sure you never heard of before that have some really awesome products, and it could very likely lead you into new supplier relationships, and perhaps you'll find a better way to provide technical solutions for your clients. You may even find that you can get into a system integrator program with one of our partners, and that may lead you into some new applications, some new industries. So really take a look at them. There's no other place where there's such a concentration of suppliers and integrators. So again, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Engage with other integrator members. I'm sure all integrators, have their daily struggles, their challenges, their problems. What are the key ones that you would really like to solve? So when you're sitting at a table before a session begins, or you're at break, or you're at lunch, or in the evenings, when you kind of people say, hey, how do you solve this problem? And be also prepared to give away a piece of information. And it's a very interesting culture that CSIA has, and this began back at the very start in the early 90s. And as the phrase goes something like this, if you give 1 piece of information away, you'll get 10 back. And that culture, that attitude continues through today. And it's amazing how many people who are outside of our industry that come to our conference. Maybe they're from the media and they're there for the first time, or maybe it's a new integrator, a new partner, and they're just astonished at the information sharing that goes on. So don't be afraid to give something away, because if everybody gives a little something away, you'll get more back than you gave. So build relationships, find solutions, and help others overcome their challenges as well. Our insurance manager is Paul Barnard. He'll be there with some of our insurance carriers. If you want to have a discussion with Paul, I would encourage you to make that meeting arrangement in advance. You can contact the office or contact me, and we'll give you Paul's email address and phone number. I apologize, I should have put it on here. I didn't do that. And also, we have a very tight relationship with Mark Voigtman, and he does a presentation for us every year. He's written a book on our industry, on all the legal challenges, the legal challenges that issues that system integrators tend to face. And he'll be doing a presentation along with one of his business associates, Stuart Buttrick, and that's on Thursday afternoon. And Mark just is probably the most knowledgeable person on the planet when it comes to legal issues surrounding automation and system integration. So if you want to just have a quick discussion with him, get to know him better, I encourage you to do that. He will definitely be there. And again, maybe partake of his presentation and Stuart's presentation, the other guy from his office, on Thursday afternoon. Engage with the media. Every media outlet loves our conference. It's no other place can they go to get nuggets of information that they can use in their publications. I encourage you not to stay away from them, but rather engage with them. They are a key connection to the marketplace for CSIA, for you, and be willing to answer the questions and share with them, and maybe even learn from them how to go about publishing an article through them, and you can pass that through CSIA. If you engage in open forum at all, you'll frequently find that we're soliciting articles we literally have dozens of automation outlets now that are seeking articles from CSIA members, and occasionally from CSIA itself. And anyway, just getting to know these media people is good for you, it's good for CSIA, and it's good for them because it builds content and adds credibility to their publication. So engagement in general. Bring questions to the town hall meeting. Attend everything. Save emails and phone calls for later. We all have such a tendency to feel like we have to stay in touch with what's going on in the office. And I know you have to do that to an extent, but however possible, leave those emails and phone calls for later, and just fully engage. Again, when it's breaks, talk with other people rather than checking your emails. Save them for late at night or very early in the morning. Now, I know it makes for some really long days, but it's only a Thursday and a Friday, and I think you'll really appreciate having done that. I encourage you to sit different places, sit with different people. If you come with coworkers, don't sit with them. Split up so that you encounter different people. Ask those questions, have those conversations, build relationships, give away information, get information back, and you'll come away after 2.5 or 3 days just absolutely loaded with great ideas on how to make your business the best possible business that it can be, and will help you personally as well. So engagement is just do it. So I can say the old Nike phrase, just do it. Social events. Again, that's Saturday afternoon. These are just a couple of photos from the past. I remember the one on the right is when we were in Scottsdale 2 years ago. I recognized the cactus in the background. So again, Saturday afternoon is a fun time to do things and participate in everything that you possibly can. And if you're bringing a friend, a spouse, there are programs for them as well. So be sure to look for the information on those in the app or on the conference website. And so really this is meant to be a fun time. A lot of our members bring families with them, and it's just fun for all, but yet you get educated and motivated as well. That's the end of my presentation, and what I'm going to do is open up the Q&A box, and just if you have any questions at all, please type them in there. If you think of a question later, you can feel free to send me an email or give me a phone call. The information is on the screen. Are there any questions at this point? Another option is if you can call the office. That number is on the screen, the 800-661-4914. List of partner members who will be there. Jason, what I encourage you to do is email or call the office. I could probably get that, but it's much more efficient for the gals in the office. A little bit of information. The way this conference comes together is that my responsibility as executive director, since I came from the system integration industry, and I have obviously a keen sense of what it is to sit in your chair every day, is my responsibility is filling the content. That's where all the sessions came from. But all the logistics of the conference, including registration, who's going to be there, the sponsorships and so forth, is all managed by our staff in Madison. So what I encourage you to do is get in touch with them. What are the steps for getting CSIA a recognized industry standard, as you mentioned? That is a real challenge, and we've been working away at it primarily by way of the media. And we work with a marketing company who gets articles about our members into vertical industry publications rather than just automation magazines. So that's the primary method right now, but we pulled together a certification task force, and one of the items that task force is looking at is how can we, in a more direct way, get to the end user clients of the world so that they are fully aware of the value of CSIA certification, so that they would begin to prefer it in their system integrator relationships, whether it be with those they already work with or in their process of selecting new system integrators to work with. So it's really going to be up to the end user clients, those who solicit and purchase the services of system integrators, to prefer or require CSIA certification for it to become an industry standard. And even industry standard is probably tough words to use, only because we've done some research, and to become, like, let's say, fall under ANSI or IEC takes literally hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of work to accomplish that. So we want it to become, CSIA certification to become a preferred requirement, but for it to become an official industry standard is just beyond our means right at this point in time. So we're just working hard at finding ways to increase awareness. We call it brand awareness of CSIA certification in the marketplace. And again, the certification task force is going to be bringing some recommendations to the board. Actually, there's a board of directors meeting the 2 days before the conference begins, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and 2 hours of that is set aside for the results of the work that has been done by the certification task force. Are there any other questions? If not, I want to thank all of you very, very much for attending, and I hope this was a wise use of 35 minutes of your time. And I look forward to seeing all of you at the conference. Obviously, you'll know who I am. I won't know who you are, so I encourage you to I'm sorry, I just realized I blanked your screen. I encourage you to look me up, say hello, introduce yourself, and enjoy the conference. And again, if you have any questions, please give me a call, send me an email, whatever. I'll do whatever I can to have your conference experience be a wonderful one. So again, thank you very much, and I will see all of you in Washington, D.C. Thanks very much. Bye.